Rob Kemp on Show
97.7.
Hey, welcome to the Rob Kemp Show at Showem.com, and my guest in studio this afternoon, Scott Faulconbridge. Scott, how's it going?
Good.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Big show this weekend?
Yes, Saturday night. I'll be doing a show at the Musée Studio at Just for Laughs, 8 o'clock showtime. It'll be my best stand-up comedy. I promise to do my very best. Steve Patterson will be hosting, and I'll be doing improv with David Pride.
I like the reference to the Cub Scouts, by the way. Or was that, is that Cubs or is that Scouts, the I promise to do my best?
That's both, I believe.
Is it both?
I think so. It's been so long.
Yeah, my Scout leaders out there are saying, no, it's this one, not that one.
Probably.
Anyways.
Yeah, I just remember the silly uniforms.
Did you, with the sash and all the badges?
All the badges, and I was lazy, so I only had 3. And there were other kids that had like 20.
Yeah.
And by the time I was 11, it was humiliating, so I left.
Sadly, I was the kid that had 20.
You had
nothing better to do, really, is
right.
what it was, yeah.
Right.
So the show is, tell me the difference between, I mean, which do you prefer? Because you do a lot of stand-up, you do a lot of improv as well. Is there one that you prefer more than the other? And this show is mostly improv, or is this going to be a lot of written material? And
I say I'm a stand-up guy.
Right.
I
think you're a stand-up guy.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. I've always enjoyed stand-up, but every once in a while, I like to just let loose with the improv. And Dave is a guy who I did improv with at On the Spot, and we always were kind of connected. He does stand-up too. Maybe that's why we're connected. I don't know. It's weird. But every once in a while, we like to just like, hey, let's do some improv.
How did the reunion go with On the Spot? Were you a part of that? Were you guys both in there? Because you guys just did was it this past summer? I think you did, or
it was this past summer, and I really wanted to go, but I was out of town touring, and that's part of the problem why I don't do as much improv as much is I'm often on the road doing stand-up.
Right. The Debaters it's such a great show. You guys do such a great job on that.
That's a fantastic show. I felt it was built for comics, and I think they're moving it to TV. I don't know if you heard that, but
that's great news. You heard it here first. You probably didn't, but anyways.
Yeah, you heard it here 30th, but that's okay. That's nice sort of scoop.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they're going to be doing it on television as well. They'll be doing both. It's a great format. Steve, of course, hosts that.
Yeah, Steve does such a great job on that. Yeah.
He does, and those tapings are like a comic's dream because they're so ready for that show. It has a huge following, and it's really special to like walk into a room that is already in love with what the show's going to be.
What's the prep like for that show? Is it really is it all improv, or do you guys have some idea of what's going to be thrown at you ahead of time? And I don't want to give away any secrets, or maybe you're not allowed to tell me, or
no. I mean, the show is pretty much as it seems. We prepare our opening and closing arguments, so we know the topic ahead.
Okay.
We get to prepare those opening and closing arguments, and I just like to throw in a lot of jokes, make it funny.
Yeah.
The second round where you go toe-to-toe with each other, that's exactly as it seems. Basically, you get a chance to improvise off the cuff. Sometimes you talk to each other about what you're going to say, but generally speaking, fresh stuff comes out there.
Do you ever get into arguments with any of them, or is it all still pretty lighthearted?
I think it's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone I know puts the comedy first. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get angry at the Debaters. So everyone just has fun with it. But I'm sure at some point that will happen.
Touring across the country right now?
Doing a Western Canadian tour this fall. Then I'll be touring the UK in January, and probably another UK tour in the summer.
Worst road story ever, or worst road show ever. Do you have one?
I certainly do.
I'd love to hear it.
Well, then I'll tell you it. Worst road show ever. I was doing a bar gig in Kelowna, and you often hear that expression.
Yeah. Who hasn't?
Right. Bar gig in Kelowna. And I was the second act on. While the other act was on, there was a bartender in the back of the room, and he was working the cappuccino machine. And when you work the cappuccino machine, it would make this loud noise. It was
sure.
Like type of thing. So I go to him. I said, "Listen, that's really loud. Would you mind if, while I'm on stage, if you didn't use the cappuccino machine?" And he said, "Sure, no problem. Don't worry about it." So a couple of minutes go by. I get on. About 5 minutes into my set, all of a sudden I hear. So I look out, and there's about 200 people in the audience, but the lights are in my eyes. I can't see anything. And I just sort of call out to the back of the room, because naturally I just had this conversation with the bartender, but I don't want to get angry. So I make a lighthearted joke. I say, listen, I don't know who you are out there, but whoever you are, take your forklift and go home. Thinking I get a lighthearted laugh, but the whole room turns deadly silent. Like you could hear a pin drop all of a sudden. And then I heard this little voice from the back of the room go, "It's the hydraulic system to my wheelchair. I was just trying to adjust myself so I could laugh easier." Well, I did the only thing you could do was I groveled for forgiveness. And the audience, you kind of feel when an audience forgives you.
Right.
And I got it to that point again. And just when I got to that point, she perked up again and she said, "That's okay. That's the funniest thing you've done all night." Worst night ever.
Worst night ever.
Yeah.
But you're able to work it off in your favor, I think.
Yeah, well, I've got this story. Right?
Yeah, that's true too. Love the website, by the way.
Thank you.
I've looked around. Anyways, I don't know anything else, but I love the website. I think it looks great.
Do you like the part where I hit myself on the head?
That's my favorite part with the microphone stand.
Yeah, that's my favorite part too.
Saturday night,
8 p.m. The studio at Just for Laughs. Tickets are $28. You can buy them at the box office there, 514-845-2322. Steve Patterson hosting, David Pride on the show, and myself, Scott Faulconbridge.
And you're taping the DVD?
I'm taping a DVD, my first self-produced DVD, because it's time that I own a piece of me.
And if we're in the audience, should we dress up, or is there no chance of any of us being on TV?
Honestly, I can't afford to pay anyone. I've spent money on 4 cameras. That's where the money's going. You can wear whatever T-shirt you want.
Perfect. Scott, thanks for your time and good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Rob Kemp on the Spirit of Rock Show 97.7.